BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Patrick Leader from Leader Games. We're talking some of the spicy hot games we got. My buddy Steve O'Rourke's here, and he's played something recently. Steve, have you?
On tour.
Might help if I turn the mic on, Steve. What you said?
Try it again. Hey, everybody. I started showing you this. It's on tour. I just got a copy of this from someone who was parting with a bit of their collection and was happy to take a little bit off of their hands. Have either of you guys played this?
I played the app, I think, and that's about it. What about you, Patrick?
I wouldn't call it.
I've not played it.
I wouldn't call it spicy hot because it's been around for a while, but it's a rolling right. And you can see you've got a board of the United States here and two big, chunky 10-sided dice. And what you're essentially doing is trying to roll and run a path through the Americas here and lay out a long route for your band that'll go on tour. Essentially, what you do, you'll seed out 4 different of these circled areas, and then with the rolling of the dice, if you rolled a 7 and a 3, you'll end up having to play a 73 and a 37. And the cards that will come out will give you some options for places which you can put them on the board. You can see that might be a little bit shine there, but it's divided into central, east, and west, and then also you have north and south. So you've got some choices of what you can do with this, essentially. But when you lay out your path by the end of things, you have to go from lowest numbers to highest numbers and try to make the longest path possible. Go through a city and you get a point. Go through a city that happens to be one of the ones that you landed on perfectly. You can see here that happens to be the state of Arkansas, I guess. If you land on that one and fill it in, you get to circle it, and that's worth 2 points instead of 1. You don't have to make the path until the end, and you do it all with little right on and wipe off markers.
Sure.
When you lay all of this out by the end, essentially, you're going to run through and fill up essentially the entire United States as best as you can. But it's whoever can leave themselves the spaces between with enough room to slot in the right numbers to make a continuous path from lowest to highest.
Ooh, tricky.
You never get to dial back. I've only played it a couple times. It is dirt simple to play. It is dead hard to play well because you don't know how much room to leave yourself.
And it never cycles back. You know, like the one on Gauchon Clever, the bottom one, the green or the blue one, where it cycles back every time you hit that 6.
Once you write the number, you've written the number.
Ooh,
now, you don't have to connect all the locations until the very end. So you can lay it out as best as you can. Say, I got screwed there, so maybe I have to take this path in a different direction. But once the numbers are filled and you try to connect it from lowest to highest, you've got very little wiggle room for that.
How many dice are you rolling?
You're basically rolling 2 dice each turn, and you'll put out 3 cards, and on each turn with those 3 cards out, you have to play 2 numbers. If I rolled, like I said, a 2 and a 3, you'll have to have a 23 and a 32. You have to do it one way and flip it and write both numbers down on your board. One thing I would recommend, you'll see that these are already getting pretty dark with wiping them off. Do yourself a favor. If you do get it, just use tissue. It's pretty good quality. The board cleans up nicely, but you do want to make sure that it's going to last that way.
Look,
and you can have
Lafayette right there, Steve. There's my hometown right there, man. Right
there you go. Right in the middle, dead center of the circle. That's where you can either
due south from Minnesota, due south from Patrick.
Yeah, due south. It's a good little game. I wouldn't say it's heavy because there's very little that you need to think of in terms of rules, but there's a lot that you need to think of in making your path work. The only way that you can get a little mulligan is if you roll doubles, you can put a star in, and that counts as anything. You can go from a tie with that, but the mulligans are limited in this.
Patrick,
I have not played it very well.
Oh, sorry, Patrick. Are you a Roll and Write fan?
I've played Welcome to, and I liked Welcome to a lot.
Welcome to is fun.
Yeah, so much so I backed the second Kickstarter they ran for it, and I haven't gotten back to my set yet. I know on tour it's been played a bit inside the office. I just haven't had a chance to. It's usually over lunch, and I'm tired or want to keep working. Is
that a good lunchtime?
Welcome to, you can use as many people, have as many people play as you've got boards for.
Okay.
So there are expansions where you can get the same board and have lots of people play with the same dice each time.
Good lunchtime game, Steve.
I would say so, but it may take a little bit more time than you'd think. So eat your lunch quickly. You're going to be thinking for a good solid half hour. Better have a lunch hour rather than a lunch half hour.
Patrick's trying to work. We got to get the game in so we can get back to work.